All right, so I've told you why I would make a YouTube channel in the first place to record, the goings on here in Sweden. But why would I call it Adventures in the Iron Kingdom? Well, for one, I think it sounds cool, right? Maybe you disagree, but more to the point, the area we live in here, the county, which I'd have to look up. It's Gävleborg County, Gavleborg County. So you can look up the square miles and whatnot. But pretty big, bigger than the counties in the U.S. Um, at least in New York and Kentucky and Georgia that I'm familiar with. Anyway, this part of the world is called the Iron Kingdom. Now, this is partly just because the tourism board of the county wanted a hook, and they wanted a way to kind of link together all these old metallurgy related attractions, but I think they got enough justification. So, why the Iron Kingdom? Why is this the Iron Kingdom? Well, my new boss has told me that every town had a steel mill, as recently as the Industrial Revolution. Every town had a steel mill uh, because the raw materials are here. The ore, the charcoal, presumably the lime, although I'm not sure where that comes from. We were lucky recently to actually go to a Viking village recreation, and they went through the whole process of smelting, where they would start from, they call it bog iron, but just like the sandy, clayey stuff at the bottom of streams, rivers, bogs, whatever. They, burn out the impurities, put it in kind of a handmade bloom type furnace, and just through the right changing the oxidation state and heat treatment and heating up the slag and letting it run off and the right hot work, you're able to get, decent quality steel. And so even from, certainly from 2,000 years ago, there's evidence of ironwork around here. And even from the Viking Age, 1100 years ago, they'd figured out this kind of, relatively straightforward process to make and then export all this iron. And, the symbol for the town of Hofers, where we live, is actually an abstraction of an old map from the 1600s where they show the connections, the routes between all the iron mines around here. So, the iron mines were a big deal. So it's not just the bog iron, they got mines. Were a big deal. So it's not just the bog iron, they got mines as well. And even today, there's a lot of steel companies. There's the one I work for, Alema, isn't even the closest steel company to my house. There's Ovako, that is a subsidiary of a huge bearings manufacturer, SKF. There's Alema, there's Sandvik Coromant, just all around here. And, that is juxtaposed with all the old ruins of all the old blast furnaces, everything from the year zero up to the present. They have instances of these ironworks and mines and things around here, and I think that is very cool.